Hi, thanks for stopping by. Welcome to the channel. I see that you might have an interest in energy and this life force energy. It's been a buzzword in a lot of different communities, and I feel like there is a big, I don't know, there's a lot of space to grow and share the information about life force energy. So if you want to know a little bit about it, you've come to the right place. I won't go too deeply into it, or maybe I will. I'm not really scripting anything. So let's see how it goes, because I personally like to go with the flow of the energy, you know. Okay, so life force energy. What is that? What is everybody talking about? Well, in basic terms, it is the vibration between atoms that exists in all living things. I am not a trained scientist. However, I consider myself to be a scientist for life, because I am always incredibly interested in learning new things and figuring out stuff, and big fan of the scientific method. So if I hear an interesting theory, I will test it myself to see, make my little notes or sharing or whatever. So anyway, that's my little disclaimer. If I give any false information, do please correct me in the comments. And if you do like what I'm saying, then please feel free to like, subscribe, and I don't know, pass it on to somebody that might benefit from it. So all that aside, life force energy. Okay, so we have atoms and we have the movement between them. That itself is energy, correct? I believe. But life force energy, of course, is the vibration of the atoms, the vibration between the atoms in all living things. So like these walls, they will have energy, but they're not really alive, are they? I mean, they were made of, I don't know, what is this? Plaster board, whatever you call that. That one's not going to have such a strong life force energy. Whereas this gorgeous, beautiful little big plant, she's got tons of life, right? Like she's got all this energy flowing through her leaves and her trunk and her roots and whatnot. You can see this little guy. I've got a few little plants here and there. So we've got the plant life, right? Then we have animal life. They all have their own life force energy. And of course we have humans, right? So we are the species with the strongest life force energy. As far as living things go, our bodies are incredible machines. They are creating energy, they are using energy, and they are also like sucking in energy as well from the environment around us. So, why is it important to know about life force energy? I mean, who cares, right? Well, I mean, without life force energy, you'd be just a body, a corpse, like you'd have the flesh, you'd have all the things, but your heart wouldn't be pumping, right? I mean, you wouldn't be alive. So that's why it's important. And it's also, I mean, the concept of life force energy has been around for centuries, probably since the beginning of civilization. Many ancient cultures have understood this force as in tribal tribal societies before there was society. They understood a lot of the life force energy. And then as societies, became more advanced, there were, of course, further studies and more information about that. The modern cultures, actually, lots of different traditions believe in and understand this life force energy, and it can go by various names. We've got prana. This is the Sanskrit word from India. Prana is means to exist, and ana means an atom. So prana is that which exists before the atom. Japan, that is ki. They consider that ki. So Ki, life force energy. In China, they call it qi, spelled Qi. So like Qigong, for example, is an old traditional method of exercise or keeping your life force energy strong and vital. They're also in New Zealand, the Maori people, they call it mana, M-A-N-A. And in Christianity, for example, as well, they consider life force energy to be the Holy Spirit. So hopefully you can relate to one of those terms as far as what we're talking about here. So how can we experience it? How do we experience life force energy? Like, how do we know that that's going on for us? The simplest term, the simplest way I would say would be check your pulse, right? You can feel your heart beating here. So the blood pumping through the pulse is a clear indication of life force energy. We can think about emotional reactions. For example, think about the last time that you were incredibly excited, something amazing or whatever, your wish came true, or et cetera, et cetera. An old friend came to visit. Imagine yourself in that place now and try to remember what your body was feeling like at that time, right? Probably this excited tingles, maybe butterflies, that kind of thing. That's an example of life force energy. Or the last time that you were like raging mad, for example, right? Like you wanted to just scream into a pillow or throw, I don't know. Sometimes I'll take rocks and I'll throw them into the water when I get real mad, right? But what happened to your body during that time? For me personally, my heart rate increases a lot, as does my breath. And there is this very visceral feeling that I need to get this energy out of my body. On the negative side, often that's like shouting, right? Or that's like, I don't know, like I said, throwing rocks at the water or however you deal with your own anger. I'm saying for me personally, it isn't until I'm able to release this energy that I'm able to then take a full, deep breath and work on realigning with my center. So that is a very clear indication of life force energy. Another good one is physical strength, right? If you go work out at the gym, or if you are a long distance runner, or just if, maybe you're out of shape and your neighbor asks you to help them move, right? And so you had to go and pick up something really heavy or whatever, right? And you're like, right? Like that's another example of your life force energy. So all of those things are pretty important, right? We got our heartbeats. That's incredibly important for our life. We have our emotions and our emotional, like, reactions within ourselves, and our physical strength as well. So that's just 3 easy ways of how you can actually experience life force energy. Please believe if you are watching this, you are alive and you have life force energy. Am I right? Okay. And now, like, another important thing for us to talk about is, how do we support our life force energy? Because if this is the first time you're hearing about it, chances are you've not really ever considered how you use your energy on the daily basis, right? And when we use it in this very demanding society and this incredible, like, busy, do all the time, resting, oh, that's lazy, or whatever, right? Like in that case, we're going to drain our energy really fast. And then that's going to lead to, negative side effects for us day to day. So how can we support our life force energy to help it be in the best state that it can be, so that it can work the best for us, right? I want to go deeper into these different options. I might fill those out in writing or something. I'm not really sure. This is all really new to me with the channels. I just really want to be able to share this information with you. So I'm so available by contact and all the things, but I'll go through that. Let's talk about right now, how can we support our own life force energy? So, I think the very first step in supporting that, your energy, is, first of all, to become aware of it, to notice it, to observe it, right? Just to see where you're at, just to literally see, where is my energy? And that can happen multiple times throughout the day. For example, in the morning, it'll be one way. After you have your coffee and your breakfast or your first meal, it'll feel differently, and so on and so forth. So I'd say the first step in supporting your energy is to begin to observe it. Observe your energy, see where you're at, so that you can, from this day forward, or whenever you decide to do that, you can create a baseline for yourself, right? And with the baseline, then we can say, oh man, like today's, or like, I've been doing such and such for however long. And I feel like up here on the average day, right? Rather than, but I remember when I started, and then I was like, whew, sometimes we're going to go further down. Sometimes we're going to come back. Sometimes, it's like the sliding scale, such as life. Okay. All right, I crack myself up all the time. So becoming aware of it and observing. You can observe just for yourself. If it's easy for you, if you like to write stuff down, maybe you can say, like, have a little journal for it, so that you can start to see it and start to feel it and start to understand how it flows, how it ebbs, how it flows. It's waves, right? Like everything's kind of moving and changing all the time. And that's what the Buddhists say, right? The only thing permanent is impermanence, right? So, becoming aware, big step. Once you're aware, then you can start looking into it and seeing when you have these dip downs of the energy, or when it's really high, and whether it's really low or whether it's really high, figuring out, is this like why, right? Figuring out the why. Why am I so low today? What did I do yesterday or maybe last night that might have affected me today? Or what did I do or not do this morning that would have an effect on me, et cetera, right? So easy things to help you at the very simplest level to up your energy game is a routine, a good bedtime routine, a good sleep routine. Make sure you are getting about the same hours every single night. Now I know for me, this fluctuates. So sometimes I'll go through phases where I'm sleeping on average 9 hours a night, and I wake up and I still feel tired. And then then I'll go through a phase of where I'm sleeping 7, 6, right? And then I'm like, no, it goes either way. Sometimes I actually have decent energy where I'm like, wow, I'm actually surprised I didn't get a lot of sleep, but I feel good. And other times it's like, holy moly, what did I do that for, right? So good sleep, really easy. Girl, it is not that easy, and you know that. Yes, I do. Getting a consistent sleep can be quite the challenge. All right, fine. Number 2, I would say, would be a very important one, is daily movement. That I used to give myself a really hard time about, because I was like, oh, Lord, girl, like I used to kill myself every time I didn't get to the gym or I didn't work out or whatever. Killing meaning like, like more so being mean to myself and my self-talk, I would say. And I've reframed that recently, well, I say the last year probably, where my goal is to get movement every day, not to do 20 minutes of cardio or, a yoga routine or whatever that I can put in this nice little like square of time, right? Block of time. It's not like that anymore. It's like, okay, I feel a bit tight there. You know what? I'm just going to drop down where I'm at and I'm going to do a quick stretch. The going for a walk, like where you're going fast enough, where you're getting a little bit winded, but like not really. Like you can still definitely have a conversation in spurts. Like you don't have to be speed walking, the whole time. It's just like, maybe I'm going to go this route because I know there's a couple inclines. So I know that I'll have to walk up those, et cetera, and that'll be good for my heart and good for my energy. So that's another good tip. What do we have? We have getting consistent sleep. We have daily movement. We have next on the list, I think is also incredibly important, is clean eating. I know that's been a big old buzzword, and it's not the way that I want to say it, but it is the way that most people understand it. Essentially cutting out as much processed foods as possible in your day-to-day. So that I can do a whole nother, because that we can do a whole nother deep dive in, because I can share all the tips that I have figured out and that work for me, and maybe that's helpful to you too. So clean eating. Another excellent one is meditation. Excellent. Haha. It's like, girl, that is the most annoying thing in the entire world. And yes, I feel you. And you know why I feel you? Because that has been me for the majority of my life. And honestly, it is just like in the last year, actually, no. Maybe even like, I don't know, like 4 months probably, where I have actually finally dedicated myself to doing this. Now, mind you, I'm human. We go back and forth, right? We have 2 steps forward, 20 steps back. It's the way it goes, you know? The most important thing is that we don't judge. And we're like, all right, today was not that good day. That's all right. You know what? I'm grateful for tomorrow. And we go that way. But meditation can be incredibly helpful, especially because simply you are sitting or laying. I like to meditate. Okay. I do not like to sit and meditate. And that was a big blocker for me for a long time because I said, I can't do it. I can't sit for that long. My back hurts, this and that, blah, 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 dee. And so that was enough for me. But I'll tell you what, guess what? Breaking news. You can totally do it laying down as well. I'll either lay on my yoga mat or the majority of the time I am meditating before I fall asleep, which is the perfect time because then you roll straight into this lovely sleep. So meditation, trying to establish a routine is incredibly helpful to your energy, your life force energy. And the last two, I will go deeper into in its own separate video. Energy hygiene. Energy hygiene. Girl. Life-changing, okay? It's like, just like we have our own physical hygiene, right? Like you brush your teeth, you shower, you all the things, clean your clothes, and we all do that. And we all do that. So second nature at this point. That energy hygiene is like a whole what? Energy hygiene essentially is how to say this best. It's essentially implementing various actions throughout your day, actions and intentions throughout your day that will support and strengthen your life force energy. Which really is going to turn you into the best version of yourself, right? And we all want that. Shoot. I know I want that. I want to see your best version as well. So that is, yep. I think I talked about mindfulness already, didn't I? I just have a little tiny little notey thing so I don't blab on too much. So let's recap. What is energy? Energy is the vibration between atoms. Life force energy is that vibration between the atoms of living things. And why is it important? Because it's an incredibly it's a powerful and natural resource that we create every single day and use every single day. And thusly should be, or it's a good idea to care for and respect that life force energy on a daily basis. Okay. And how can we support it? We can observe it. Number one, we got to know what we're looking at, right? We got to know where we're starting. We're creating that baseline. And then once we know where we're at, then we can adjust our daily routines based on supporting and nurturing our life force energy rather than depleting it. We talked about a couple options, easy enough. We've got mindfulness, right? We've got a consistent sleep schedule. We have clean eating, so important, and daily movement as well. And then energy hygiene. So I think that's about it. Share this video if you'd like. love to have the support. I'd love to share the message. I'd love to share info. And you'll find the next energy hygiene video coming up soon. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you have an incredible day or night or weekend or Monday or whatever. I hope that you're well, be blessed, be healthy and happy. I send all my love to you, and I hope to see you again soon. Thanks. Bye.